Hey friends, welcome to the Happily Even After Betrayal Friday check-in with Life Coach Jen. I'm so glad you're here. I have a lot of exciting things to talk about. First, we're going to talk about my podcast this week. It was called Losing the Benefit of the Doubt After Betrayal. And if you're here, you've probably experienced betrayal just like I have. And sometimes we don't realize how awesome it is to give people the benefit of the doubt. I think we do it a lot, very unconsciously, right? And so when our spouse has an affair, we can't do that anymore. Our brain, that feels very dangerous. And so I hope you go listen to this episode to get some thoughts and what's going on in your brain, what's going on possibly in your spouse's brain, especially if you're trying to repair the marriage. But regardless, this will affect all aspects of your life because it will be hard. You'll realize, oh, I give a lot of people the benefit of the doubt. And then your brain will be like, should I? How am I going to trust again? Really learning to trust yourself. I think it's a great episode. I hope you go listen to it and watch it. Guess what? I'm on YouTube now, so you can watch it on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel or follow my podcast. That would be really awesome. In the news, so fascinating. I feel like so many people, like famous people, are now sharing their betrayal stories, which means that we feel safe. It feels more acceptable to share them, which I think is great because years ago, the first time that my spouse had an affair, I didn't tell anyone. I actually didn't tell anyone for decades. I had so much shame around my former spouse cheating on me very early on in our marriage when I discovered it. And it created a lot of shame inside of me in my marriage, how I showed up with my kids. I just have to love my best version of myself. But anyways, the newest person is Gwyneth Paltrow. If you haven't read the book Strangers by Belle Burton, highly encourage you to read it. It is so good. It's a memoir of marriage, and it talks about her husband having an affair after 20 years and literally just walking away from their marriage, which actually happens a lot. I feel like it happened that way in my marriage a little bit. It was a little different, and people are talking about this book a lot. Oprah had her on her podcast, but now Gwyneth Paltrow, someone bought the rights to make this a movie. It's going to be a good movie, and Gwyneth Paltrow is going to play her. She was on a podcast or something and talking about her own experience with betrayal and how it does stay with you. You can connect so much when you hear someone else's story. The idea, though, is to not let it bring you down and take you right back. You can have the memory, but just let it go through you and still be healed. This book has also been receiving a lot of controversy because she says how her husband took all this money from her. Like, he was this big fund manager. I can't remember what it's called. Anyways, he made a lot of money and she wasn't on any of his accounts. Yet, his name, she had purchased their two homes, their home in New York City. It was probably more of like a penthouse situation, and then their home on the Cape. And she used her inheritance for this purchase, and she came from a lot of wealth. However, people are saying she shouldn't complain that she got taken advantage of, but she still got taken advantage of. Just because someone has millions and millions of dollars, they can still get screwed in a divorce. Now, yes, she's fine, and now she's written this amazing book, proud of her, but it still doesn't make it okay that her husband manipulated their prenup and he financially abused her. I don't care if she still has millions of dollars, she should have gotten millions more. And so that's still not okay. And the fact that he literally didn't want custody of his kids, he just wanted to walk away and leave it all to her, just says so much about this man and nothing good in my opinion. I get there are a lot of people that just get screwed and they don't get any alimony or they're struggling, single moms struggling, but it still doesn't make it okay that she just literally had to walk away. She was able to get her two homes, but she didn't get any of his money. That she stopped her career as an attorney. She went to Harvard Law. She had lived this amazing life, but he still totally screwed her over. And so people are like, you haven't heard the other side of the story. I'm like, what other side? The other side that makes him look better. I just think it continues making him look worse. It's not the dollar that we're talking about. It is the fact that he did this to his wife of 20 years, to his children. And of course, that's pain. No matter if you're doing it in a home, $1 million+ home in Cape Cod, or in an apartment in the Bronx. It is still painful. So I think people miss the point. And if you've been betrayed, hopefully you get it. But yeah, it was totally financially taken advantage of, and I think totally manipulated. That's my soapbox on that. I love the book, so hopefully you'll read it. Anyways, so coaching news. The thing that comes up time and time again, every time I meet with you, I love any of you that want to sign up for a free call. I love meeting with you and hearing a bit of your story, but we want to change our spouse to be different so we don't have to feel negative emotion. But I'm just telling you, your superpower can be to start learning how to feel negative emotions. And you need to be okay with people feeling negative emotions around you, about you. And most of the time, it's not even about you, but you make it mean something about you. What are you making it mean? Pay attention. Listen to yourself. Listen to your internal dialogue. What are your thoughts going on? Because you taking on their emotion or walking on eggshells to try to prevent someone from being irritated, mad. I get it. I've done this. So much of my life I've done this. But what if you could just let it go? It's okay. It's normal to feel negative emotion. Of course, we enjoy feeling positive emotion, but we have to get really good at negative emotion so that we can feel more positive emotions. And so just really pay attention. What are you holding on to? What are you trying to manipulate or make sure doesn't happen? You cannot prevent your husband or wife from being who they are. And some of us are married to absolute jerks and absolute witches. I'm going to call it a girl a witch. Anyways, but there are some men that are jerks and some women that are just incapable of having a healthy relationship. And that is about them and not about you. Now, of course, there could be things that you do to contribute to it. However, you need to learn to stay in your own lane and to become your own person, become the best version of you. How can you be a good version of you around them, right? It's a challenge, but it's totally possible. And I just want to remind you, your spouse may never change. And I know that's hard to hear. And I know we wish they would. And if I could give you my magic pill for that, I totally would. But they may never change. And so can you love them? Can you be married to them? If they never change, can you change to handle whatever you're dealing with? Who can you become in the moment? I love the idea of we're all becoming something and we've got to choose it on purpose. And so if you find yourself always pointing fingers at your spouse, if they were nicer or if they would do this differently, then I could be happy. That's the problem, is that thought. It's not your husband or your wife. It's your thought about them. And so be really curious about what you're still thinking about them, what you're still believing about them. What are you making it mean about you? Because then we self-sabotage, right? And we go to all this negative feeling about us. And so getting more confident, learning to trust yourself more, doing all these things, regardless of what they're doing, are so critical to your healing. And they will really change your life. So that is my tip. So if you need extra help with this, I'd love to help you. The past few weeks have been really exciting. I got to go to Dallas. My daughter lives in Dallas and I helped her move, I think literally for the 5th or 6th time. I've become a professional mover and packer and I love spending time with her and her husband. I worked hard. It was hot and sweaty, but we did it and I'm just so grateful I get to do that. And then I took my other kids to San Francisco, and San Francisco is such a fun city. Years ago I went there. That's where I spent my honeymoon. And then I went there a few years ago with my brother. And then I decided, I think I can take my kids back here. And we had so much fun. So there's lots of cool things. Of course, we did all the touristy things, went to Alcatraz and saw the Golden Gate Bridge and did lots of other things. But yeah, if you haven't been to San Francisco, go check it out. It was actually cleaner than I was expecting. And we just had a lot of fun. There's lots of hills. So for me, I have young adults. We did lots of Ubering. I had gone with my brother a few years ago and we did lots of walking. And we still, of course, did walking. That's what's been going on in my life. And just yesterday, I had created a video mini course actually for one of my clients in mind who had started drinking a lot because he just couldn't handle dealing with his wife's affair. And I thought I can help him. And so that's the idea. But really, we all have buffers. We all have things that we do to sabotage our healing. His was drinking. But many of us, what we do is become a professional detective, or we get stuck on ruminating and just keep the thoughts spinning and spinning in our head. And so I called my course, Stop Being a Detective After Your Affair. And so regardless what your struggle is, it can help you with overeating, if you are drinking too much, or anything that you want to change. If you're just continuing the loop of the text messages, still searching for those. Now, that is normal behavior and it's okay, especially right at the beginning. But if you're on year 1, 2, 3, it's not helping you anymore. It is just keeping you stuck. So you can go get my course. You get the 4 videos in the course, as well as a workbook and a coaching session, a 1-hour coaching session with me. I find coaching so powerful. It's literally changed my life, and I see it changing my clients' life every single day. And it can be really empowering because so many of us after betrayal, we get stuck in victimhood, and that's miserable. It takes all of our power away. And I want you to have your power back, and you totally can, regardless of what your spouse is doing. You can get it back. Anyways, it's $97. I'll put a link in the email as well as on my YouTube channel. Go check it out. I'm really excited about it, and I know it can help you. Anyways, so have a beautiful Friday, and I will talk to you next week.